James Sullivan/Getty Images. There are a ton of great phones you can buy this year. But if you're intent on buying an iPhone in 2017, don't bother with the new iPhone 8 or the high-end iPhone 10 coming in November. I've owned an iPhone 7 Plus for over a year, and I've had a chance to try the new iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus as well. I can easily say the iPhone 7 is hands down the best bang for your buck iPhone-wise, aside from the excellent but diminutive iPhone SE. I have not yet tried the iPhone 10, but unless it blows me away, I'm not sure if it's worth spending nearly double the cost of an iPhone 7. Here's why: 1. The iPhone 7 is more affordable than the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10. The first but most important reason you should consider the iPhone 7 is its price tag relative to the other new iPhones. The iPhone 8 starts at $699, $150 more than the starting price of the iPhone 7 for a very similar phone. The larger iPhone 8 Plus starts at $799, and the high-end iPhone 10, if you can even find one when it becomes available on November 3rd, will start at $999. Meanwhile, the iPhone 7 starts at $549, almost half the price of the iPhone 10, and the larger iPhone 7 Plus starts at $669. Don't get me wrong, these phones are still definitely considered expensive, but their prices are much more reasonable than those of the iPhone 8 and the X.2. The iPhone 7 comes in more colors than the iPhone 10 does. YouTube/Marks Brownlee. The iPhone 8 comes in 3 colors, silver, gold, and space gray. The iPhone 10 comes in just 2 colors, black and white. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, meanwhile, come in 5 colors, jet black, matte black, the best color, silver, gold, and rose gold. 3. The iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 have glass backs, making them more fragile and less resistant to smudges. Justin Sullivan/Getty. Apple added glass to the backs of the iPhone 8 and the X so those phones can support Qi wireless charging, but as a side effect, those glass backs made them more susceptible to smudges and fingerprints, as well as fall damage. With the new iPhone 8 and the X, you'll need to worry about both the front and the back of the phone cracking if you drop it. Meanwhile, the iPhone 7 has the same aluminum unibody frame as the iPhone 6 line, which means you'll need to worry about only the phone's display cracking if you drop it. The metal backs on the iPhone 7 line are also more resistant to smudges and fingerprints compared with the glass backs of the iPhone 8 and the X.4. The iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 support fast charging and wireless charging, but both of those features require buying extra accessories, and you don't need these charging methods in the first place. Hollis Johnson/Business Insider. The iPhone 8 and the X support the Qi wireless charging standard and fast charging for the first time, but you'll need to buy Qi charging pads, which aren't exactly cheap, and another $25 to $75 worth of equipment, if you want to try fast charging. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus use Apple's standard Lightning cable, and that works perfectly fine. 5. The iPhone 7 Plus, the 8 Plus, and the X have similar rear cameras. Hollis Johnson/Business Insider. If you care at all about photography, the rear cameras on the iPhone 7 Plus, the 8 Plus, and the X are nearly identical. The smaller iPhone 7 and iPhone 8 are also great shooters, but the larger Plus models include a second telephoto lens so you can zoom without losing image quality. This is how Apple breaks down the camera specs of the iPhone 7 Plus, the 8 Plus, and the X. As you can see, all 3 camera systems are almost identical from a hardware perspective. The newer iPhone 8 and X have slow sync on the True Tone flash for better flash pictures, and the iPhone 10 has a slightly different aperture in the telephoto lens, but that's about it. The only other difference here is that the iPhone 10's rear camera has optical image stabilization for both wide-angle and telephoto lenses. This helps with sharper images and video, especially in low-light settings. The iPhone 7 Plus and the 8 Plus have OIS for only the wide-angle lens, not the telephoto lens. But again, this doesn't make much of a difference for the user experience. iPhone 7 owners won't feel as though they're missing anything. 6. The iPhone 7, the 8, and the X have nearly identical front-facing cameras as well. Hollis Johnson / Business Insider. The iPhone X's front-facing camera is complemented by an all-new True Depth camera system, which includes a set of sensors required to operate the new Face ID system to unlock the phone and make purchases via Apple Pay. But the front-facing cameras across the three iPhone models, 7, 8, and X, are almost identical. Again, here are the specs from Apple's website based on Apple's data. The iPhone 7 and the 8, as well as their respective Plus models, all have nearly identical front-facing camera systems. The iPhone X has a more sophisticated front-facing camera system overall, which also helps achieve